Hello guys, I want to tell you a quick story. During the final interview of my first job, something interesting happened. I was in a room with two ladies, one that was going to be my manager at the end and one that was going to be my colleague. They had asked me a lot of questions about Python, SQL, my knowledge of all of these things, my boot camp, my master's in mathematics, and the normal interview questions. So they had asked me all of that, and it just felt like maybe something was missing. I then noticed that they had gone to my GitHub. I'd submitted my CV ahead with my GitHub link. They had gone to my GitHub and they had ransacked everything, and they wanted to know about my project, which was fair enough. So we got to this particular, in quotes, toy project that I worked on, and they asked me, why did you do this? And I basically told them the story of it. It was about a shoe size project, where you can forecast the shoe size of an individual from their height and the sex they give. And I told them the story behind it. I forget my shoe size every time I go to buy my shoes, and I have to wear a lot of shoes. And I thought, why haven't someone thought about telling you your shoe size whenever you want to buy shoes? And she said, oh, okay, let's see. And I had this app running. It was on Flask and on Heroku at the time. I deployed it, and then my manager, she tried her numbers, gave the app her height and also her sex, and the numbers were correct. And then she was like, it's correct. You could see literally her face just glow up in that moment, like, oh, it's correct, it's nice, it's correct. And I really felt like it was at that point that they saw me as a special candidate, that they saw that I wasn't just like every other person they had interviewed, most likely about knowing mathematics or having a mathematics background or going to a boot camp or saying that they can do the job, but somebody who actually had a proof that they can actually do the job. And that reminds me again of the power of project. And this is something I say again and again on this YouTube channel. If you're trying to get into your first data science role, you need to think about projects. You need to build cool projects. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through that app, through that project that I built, so that you can see how it looks like. You can decide to build something similar, or you can also decide to build exactly the same thing if you feel like, but building something similar, something better is actually even advisable. So this was not the exact one I presented at the interview, but this is like the exact replica of that. You see the app is deployed on Streamlit right now. Let's say you come to the app, it asks you, okay, please tell us what your height is in centimeter and your sex. You say your height is 170 and you want to buy a male shoe. You can also choose to buy a female shoe here, but let's say we go for a male shoe. And you can also change this height. Let's say you click predict. It tells you, then it runs for some seconds. It tells you your shoe size is 42 in the EU size. Now I'm going to ask it. I sort of try to build a feedback system that helps me to really in real time know how well my model is performing or how bad is it performing or something, and also helps me to get data back. And this was one of the things I was also sharing at the interview, so they could really see my thought process and my thinking process and what I was trying to do. So I ask, was our prediction right? If you say yes, and then you give the feedback, thank you so much for trying out our app, and I give you a round of applause. If you say you come back to predict again, let's say we come back to predict, and I say, oh no, the prediction wasn't right. It says, oh, we are so sorry. Could you give us the right one? If you say my right shoe size is 43 and you click submit, then it thank you for trying out our app. Now I'm going to show you in the back end of everything that is going on right now, to show you exactly how I'm getting the data, the model development, and what the feedback system and feedback loop looks like. So let us go to VS Code, and this is basically the Streamlit app. So let us start from here. This is basically everything that you see running on Streamlit. I first of all got data online, basically different data aggregates that I combined together from different countries that I was able to find for the height and the sex, and combine that, and also the shoe size. I think the data was about 150. I think did some data cleaning I think I have a couple of videos where I sort of walk in detail through everything that is happening here, and then built a model. I built a linear regression model, looked at the score, and then I built a random forest, and the final one that I deployed was the linear regression. So it's a very simple app. I saved that and I bring that to my streamlit app, which you see right now on the screen. I'm going to first of all explain to you how the feedback system looks like. So what you see in the feedback system is actually two things. One, which you see somewhere starting from here, so you can click the predict button. I think we should start from the beginning. For the streamlit app, we load in the libraries that we need, and I'm connecting to a Google Sheet, which I will talk to you about for the feedback system. Actually, for the Google Sheet, what I want to do there is, for every point that I missed, for every prediction that I missed, I actually then connect the data. I get the data from the people and log it into a Google Sheet. So now when I log it into a Google Sheet, that's why I'm connecting that Google Sheet, and I can basically use GS spread library to do that, and just create credentials on a GCP project, and then connect with that credentials to the Google Sheet. When I do that, I load in my model, I build my streamlit app, all of the pictures that you see on the streamlit app, and build that in, give the predict button, select button, either you want to select male or female, or the shoe size and height. I got that as well, and then I click predict. I'm plugging my model here, and my model is making a prediction for the results. Then I am displaying the result here, print result. Your predicted shoe size is this in the EU format, which is exactly what you see when you click predict. You see your predicted shoe size is 42 EU. If we go back to Visual Studio Code, which is exactly what you see here. Now, the streamlit writes and then just gave some space. Basically, all of this is basically to put the columns and the buttons in the specific dimensions that you see. Now I am doing my feedback system, getting the data, asking the person, oh, is it correct? If it is correct, then I think my model is running fine. If it is not correct, please give me the new data point. When you give me the new data point, I will just then log it into the Google Sheet, and then I'm connecting to the Google Sheet, and I'm basically using this to write into the Google Sheet. Maybe I can also show us how the Google Sheet looks like. So let us go to Sheets, and we can see how the Google Sheet looks like in a minute. I'm just gonna click open here. Sorry, it takes some time. Delete this. Okay, we can get back to that quickly. So with collecting the data, as you see, I'm collecting the height of the person, the sex number of the person, and the shoe size. You know, we already have that data point since the person already made the prediction, and I can collect that. And I'm also imputing the date time. The date time that I'm imputing here is basically the timestamp at which the model was actually being used. That sort of helps me to also be able to aggregate I can also do a lot of things with that in the future. Aggregate the data point and be able to know, okay, at what point the person is using it, how active, what's the frequency of the use of the app, and there's a lot of interesting things that we can also get that if we can get the timestamp. So I think Google Sheet is ready for us now, and if we go to shoe size, which I think is this one, as you can see now on my screen, my shoe size is, this is the height. This is what I'm just running today. I'm recording this video 15th of May at past as 12:13, and this is exactly what you see at daytime. And you see, actually this collection has been going on since 2020, so I've actually had this app since 2020. And what I can then do with this is actually to collect this new data point, and then I can then use it to retrain my model. I can even make the app a lot more accurate and a lot more sophisticated. So this was basically what I did. This was basically the app, and I showed you the process of getting data. I got data online. It was easy. If you just search for shoe size data with shoe size data with height, I think that was how I basically got this with height. And yeah, the height versus shoe size, you see that online as well. And I showed you also the process of getting the data. It was simple, cleaning the data, just removing outliers and the likes, and then I built a simple linear regression actually. And of course it's a linear regression, so it means that my numbers will be outputted in float, and I can round that off to integers, and then I got the numbers also in integers, and I basically built a streamlit app. And I can walk us through once again how the app looks like. So if you click here, and let's say your height is 180, and you click predict, then it says, oh yeah, your shoe size is now 43. And if you say no, you can give feedback. My shoe size is now 43. You can click submit. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for trying out our app, and we will log that in as well. Of course, there's a lot of advancement that can be done with this, but one very important thing that I'm trying to show with this whole video and with the app is the fact that projects are important. I got my first data science position by showing them this kind of app. It was simple, it was intuitive, but it showed a couple of things. It showed my thought process, that I could build a model from scratch. It showed that I can deploy a model. I could use Heroku as at the time, and now Streamlit as at the time. And I was also able to demonstrate to non-data people that machine learning was powerful. I could handle it. I understood how the whole process worked, and I could also show my data engineering skills with the data connection, opening a GCP project, connecting simple things basically. And these kind of things would really help you to stand out in your job applications, and that's why I'm making this video. There's a lot we sometimes talk about. We know so much, sometimes we know so much, but sometimes we don't feel like it. We feel like cheats. And I had this feeling once when I was doing my masters, and I just felt like every other person was not black, was better than me. And it's the imposter syndrome basically, where you feel like you're not good enough, and it really affects your morale, affects your confidence. I have a previous video where I shared how I deal with the imposter syndrome as a data scientist and as a YouTuber. You can check out my channel, and then you'll find it there, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.